I want you to analyze the fish that have washed up. Let science tell you this, not me. But let the science prove it. I want you to analyze the fish. They have something in common. They're all juveniles. Now, why is that? What do you know about the water cycle? What do you know about that which is beginning to be cold? I will tell you the layers of water are changing in temperature, and that is going to change the life cycle. The juvenile fish are the most susceptible to death by becoming too cold, especially the ones of the kind that washed up. By the tens of thousands, the cold killed them. It is the water cycle. Will it continue? For a while. Until they acclimate. Until they redesign how to take care of it so that they can survive. I want to give you a parable. It goes like this. It's a metaphor, actually. There is a room, and we're going to call it the rainbow room. And in this room, the colors of the rainbow present themselves linearly, one at a time. And they change every few thousand years. For thousands of years the room is yellow, then it turns into the blue and the red and the greens. All the colors of the rainbow, they take their turn in the spectrum. And in this rainbow room, I would like to present to you creatures, smart, intelligent, sacred, all born during the color red. And their parents born in the color red, and their grandparents born in the color red, and their children's children of their children's, as far back as you can go. It was always red. It's all they've ever known. And therefore, you might say they have a red consciousness. And they expect red. And everywhere they go, they work with red. The rainbow room then starts to do what it always has done. It begins to move into its next color. Let us call it purple. And the room starts to become purple. What happens to those who have always known red? Let me give you the attributes of what is happening on the planet. The first is fear. Here comes something odd and unusual. It's never happened before. It's darkness. We must have done it. Therefore, we'll find ways to stop the purple. Because it's supposed to be red. Everybody knows it's supposed to be red. It's only been red. Therefore, the purple is bad. Let's stop it. There are those. Then there are those who said, we welcome the purple. We don't know why it's here, but we like it. But we've always been red, and we don't understand it, and we're afraid of it. What do? And there are those who have said, we've expected the purple all along. God bless the purple. And that's the energy you sit in now. For that which has been normal on this planet for all of these thousands of years is about to shift. And it's going to present more anomalies than birds falling out of the sky, or fish washing up on the shore, or melting ice caps. I'll tell you what to look for. When you change the temperature strata of the oceans of the earth, things start to change. For the life cycle of the food in the ocean depends upon that which is the smallest. The plankton of the planet survives in certain temperatures for certain ways. And that's changing. So let us just talk about the ocean for a moment. We won't even get to what's happening in the air and what mammals might experience. Let us speak of the ocean. Have you heard about the salmon? What have your science warned against? You're overfishing. The sea is dying. The coral itself being overrun. The reefs are going away. You're not seeing the food chain that used to be there. You're overfishing. Quotas have been set up to keep it from happening. Oh, all those little people in the red box. They don't know about the purple. Did you hear about the salmon? There's too many of them. In the very place where quotas are in place, so you won't overfish, they're jumping in the boat. There's too many. Against all odds, against any projections in 3D from any scientist, from any biologist, they're overrunning the ocean in Alaska. Way too many. What does that tell you? That Gaia takes care of itself. That's what it tells you. Perhaps this alignment is going to keep humanity fed. Did anybody think of this? What if Gaia was in alliance with you? What if the increase in consciousness that raised the vibration of you has alerted Gaia to change the weather cycle and get ready to feed humanity? To clean up oil spills. To do things which you never ever would have thought of in 3D, and it's here, and it's working. You'll see it. The life cycle itself is being altered by the temperature of the ocean. And all the things you've studied and the things that were are going away. A new system of life and the way it works, how it's being altered, is upon you. And in the process, there will be extinction of certain plants, animals, birds, and fish. My advice to you, especially to those environmentalists, is to understand the cycle of life so that you may relax with what nature has always done. It puts that on the planet to serve the planet, and when it no longer serves the planet, it takes it away. The extinction of life in certain attributes, especially through weather, is normal, it is honored, it is appropriate, it is normal, even if you don't think so. Don't try to save them all. They're supposed to go away. And don't assign it to something you did. It's silly, is it not? For those in the red box, seeing the purple coming, to figure out what they did wrong. They're in the rainbow box. This is what the rainbow box does. It changes colors. And they're sitting there in fear, trying to figure out what is it that they did that possibly could have caused purple. And instead, we tell them this: the rainbow box is beautiful. The color purple, significant. Going from red to purple, I won't give you the significance, I'll let you figure it out. For those who are into colors, there's a reason why I gave those two. The earth is becoming more sacred than it's ever been before. It is with you in this. Gaia is with you in this. It's cooperating in ways you never thought it could, in the way biologists said it would not. You think you're killing it? Well, it's given birth to another system. And that's what we're telling you to expect. And that's Gaia. Let me talk about human consciousness and what is happening. This will be the last thing. You're going from a system that is now not going to work anymore. And if you've studied what I have said in these last months, I gave a channeling recently called The End of History. It's a metaphor that means the end of the way things used to be. A rebirth of the way things can be. And what is changing there is human nature. What is it a human will do intuitively? Look at what they've always done. They separate. Have you ever looked at Europe and wondered how so many countries can be so close together and yet they have different languages and different cultures? You just assume that's the way it works. Do you ever wonder how it got that way? How can so many countries have such unique languages, have such unique cultures in such a small area? Let me tell you how it happened. It's called human nature. When one doesn't like the other and they wall themselves off and call themselves special. And through hundreds of years they develop language which changes their own culture, and they do not unify with the others. In fact, they war with them. They conquer them. And we've talked about it before. That's what humans do. They separate. They conquer. They pull it apart. They don't put it together. Even that which is the most sacred thing to you, even that which the masters of the earth have started and the information they gave you, you put into that which you call organized spirituality. You put it in boxes, and when one person has another idea, you create another box. You separate, don't you? Pretty soon you have hundreds and hundreds of boxes representing the belief and the teachings of one master. Now you've succeeded in separating it, pulling it apart, pointing fingers at the other box and making them wrong. That's what humans do. Well, I will tell you that that is changing. I gave you some information before. I'll mention it again. The last thing you'd ever expect to happen is for big money to change on this planet, and it just did. Creating your recession, a new way of banking. It's beginning to create a system of integrity where the world can work together financially. That is the step you're looking at, and you're not realizing it.